Yo, what's going on YouTube, man? It's your boy Stonted, back at it again on the channel, man. Listen, bro, today's video, man, I got you guys with my ultimate settings, man. This is what I'm gonna be using from now on Warzone, man. I'm gonna show you guys everything, man. My controller settings, graphic settings, Ds4 Windows, man, Nvidia control panel, man. The whole thing, man. The whole 9 yards, man. Everything that you guys need to know on. I'm pretty much gonna be showing you guys everything that these big streamers use and how they're so good at the game, okay? I'm gonna show you guys everything in today's video. But first, man, before we get started today's video, man, shout out to these people right here on the screen, man. If you guys want to see your name on the screen, man, subscribe to the channel, man, because we are always posting some high kill gameplays, tips and tricks, man, some informational shit, just so you guys get just be notified on what the hell's going on in Call of Duty. It's just so you guys can improve at the game, man. I got you guys. I'm your boy, man, Stunning, man. I got you. All right, so let's not waste any time like that, man. Enjoy today's video. Get your popcorn, man. Let's go over these settings real quick, okay? So with my settings, guys, keyboard and mouse, I do not play on this. If you are a Warzone player, you should not be on keyboard and mouse at all whatsoever. Play on controller, man. A controller is not fair at all whatsoever, okay? Graphic settings. Now I play on full screen just because I am on a dual PC setup. If you are a person who plays on a single PC setup and you tab out a lot, play on full screen borders, okay? Play on either full screen or full screen borders, but I highly recommend you guys to play on full screen just because you are getting a better experience, especially when you play Warzone, okay? Which is bugged out for a reason, okay? The mouse I play on is a UG27. My graphics card that I play on is a 3080. Render resolution of 1920 by 1080. Dynamics disabled. This doesn't matter at all because disabled. Aspect ratio, set this to whatever it is, man. It's automatic. Do not play around with this unless you're trying to go for constant, I guess you could say. Have this thing set to automatic. Sync every frame by VSync. Set this thing to disable, okay? If you guys set thing to disable, to enable, especially if you are a PC player or whatever, you're gonna get pretty much like latency in your controller. And we're gonna talk about latency a lot today's video, but stay tuned, all right? So have this thing set to disable. Custom rate limit, I got my stuff set to a limit just so I am getting I guess you could say all the resources I can get on my PC into the game just so I can have like a better experience. But if you are playing on a single PC that is like low end or mid end, I guess you could say, you want to make sure that you are capping your frames to whatever hertz that you are playing on. So if you play on a 144 hertz monitor, you want to pretty much make sure that you are capping out your gameplay custom frame rate limit to 144, okay? Just so your game can like be smooth and all that good stuff, okay? So brightness is 53, display gamma is 2.2 sRGB, trial 2.4 BT is really up to you, but I like sRGB, man. But like both of these are like very good, okay? If video highlights disabled and video reflex low latency, I got my stuff set to disable just because I just really love the way it feels in my controller. I feel like I have legit no type of latency at all whatsoever in my controller, so it's really up to you, okay? So I just set my stuff up to disable. If you want to play on enable or enable plus boost, that's all up to you. It's all up to like what computer you got, all to your gaming rig, okay? Quality, man. Let's go to our quality settings, man. For our quality settings, guys, I play with the 115 field of view, stuff like that. If you are a console player trying to transition to a PC, I highly recommend you guys to go ahead and play on 110 or 150. That's like the sweet spot. Camera movement. If you guys are wondering why your screen is shaking every damn time a precision airstrike is called in, make sure that your camera movement is set to 50%, which is the lowest one, okay? By default, it's probably set to default, which is 100, okay? So set down to 50, okay? Streaming quality. I got everything pretty much set to low, but the text resolution is to normal just because the game still looks good even when everything is low, okay? So it really does not matter at all whatsoever, okay? Particle quality is high. The bullet impacts and spray, we got that pretty much on this just disabled just because it is kind of distracting when somebody is drawn on the floor or drawn on the walls and stuff like that. Impact spray, you set this to enable disable, it's really up to you. Test lights disabled. Dismember gore fest, I like the little effects that that this game does implement to the game, so I got this thing set to enable. On demand test stream. Now hear me out, guys. If you are getting a lot of lag spikes in your game, set this thing to disable. There's really no point you had this thing on enable at all whatsoever, okay? All it does is just give you nothing but lag spikes, okay? Demonstrate, guys. Now I have this thing turned up all the way to a 1, but with my anti-aliasing, guys, I got this thing turned all the way off just because I love the sharpening look that Warzone does have, okay? So it's really up to you guys, man. Trial anti-aliasing on the off, and if you guys want, maybe move it up just a little bit, but do not ever play on Filmic SMAA T2S just because the game looks very blurry in my personal opinion. So I got that thing set to off. All right, this makes the game just look a little bit sharper, okay, just so you guys can see very far. Depth of field, man, disable where motion blur. If you are not a TikToker and stuff like that, man, hear me out, bro. Set this thing to disable. It's no point in you playing that on that, okay? Shadow and lights. Now this is very important, especially for my PC players, okay? Have these two things right here set to enable is because you will actually get an additional frames if you do, okay? set this thing to enable, okay? Everything else, man, is set to low and disable. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the interface. All right, so for the interface, guys, subtitles disabled. I do not like having this thing on at all whatsoever, just because they take up too much of the screen, so have it disabled. Colorblind type, not for my console players, okay? I highly recommend you guys go ahead and try Dorinopia with the colorblind target of both, or if you want, go ahead and try the Trinanopia on both. These two are very, very good, okay? Especially if you're trying to make your game a little bit more vibrant, just so you guys can actually like make the game look just more like enjoyable and not depressing look, okay? Tooltips disabled. Horizontal and vertical, I got this both set to all 0, just because I like when my games like squished in and stuff like that. Because since I do play on a 32-inch monitor, it does help me out a lot, especially if I'm trying to look at the mini map instead of like pretty much down there breaking my neck just to look at the mini map. All I gotta do is just do this and stuff like that, while still keeping my eyes in the middle of what's going on in frame. Because sometimes when your HUD is all the way at 100, stuff like that on both of them, you can wind up dying just because you're not like just really just paying attention, just because you were too busy looking at the mini map, just because you was breaking your neck to look that up instead of like worry about what's going on in front of you, okay? Mini map shape, have it on square. If you play on round, you are a bot. I do not care what anybody say. Play on square, okay? You will see more of what's going on the map when you do. Minimap rotation, enable, show compass. I got this thing set to disable just because I feel like when you have it on enable, it's taking too much of what's going on the screen. So have it disabled, okay? It really does not affect the game at all whatsoever, okay? Everything else, man, this is like self-preference. Have fun, turn off my frames, blah, blah, blah. It really doesn't matter. All this stuff is like self-preference, okay? Let's get to the audio settings, okay? Audio settings, guys, I got my stuff set to boost high. Now, I feel like I always switch between boost high and boost low in this game, just because there's some weird reason. It might not even be the audio mix, but for whatever reason, guys, it is very, very hard to hear footsteps in this game. So if I were you guys, play around with it, figure out which one you like the most, boost high or boost low. Do not try anything else but boost high and boost low, okay? These two are the best ones out of all these other presets, okay? So try boost high, boost low, okay? Be first, guys, I play on boost high with everything on maxed out 100. And since I do have a gold salon, I'm able to pretty much tune the sound to make it even more loud, just so I can sound horn, stuff like that. Hit market sound effect, this is really up to you. This is self-preference. I like the way classic sounds. Just, I don't know, it's just weird. I always play on classic. If you want to play on MW, so be it. That's really, really up to you, okay? Everything else, man, this, you do not need this at all whatsoever. This is like default stuff, all right? Let's get on to my controller settings, man. Something that you guys been asking me about a lot lately, okay? So with my controller settings, guys, I play on tactical flip. Now, I want to go ahead and show my controller to you guys real quick. So with my controller settings, right, I pretty much play on a let me show you guys this real quick. I pretty much play on a Battle Beaver I play on a Battle Beaver controller, okay? So yes, I am using a control free stick. This is what I use to pretty much like aim with and stuff like that. I believe this is like the concave version of it. I'm not sure, but yeah, man, I do use a control freak for my Battle Beaver. And if you guys are wondering, Stunted, how do you have good movement? Now, with a Battle Beaver controller, something that's like very, very special about it. By the way, Battle Beaver, if you are watching this video, please sponsor me, please. Okay. But anywho, man, so if you guys are wondering how my movement is like so damn good, now the reason for that, guys, is just because in the back of the Battle Beaver, right, the signs behind it, okay, the way I jump shot and stuff like that or whatever, I use this button right here, okay? I'm always tapping this button that's behind it, stuff like that, to jump. And if I want to like slide cancel, I'll always use like this right here, which is like my right stick, my right stick and stuff like that, to the drop side, and even to like slide cancel, stuff like that. So it's very, very good, man. I highly recommend you guys to go ahead and try Battle Beaver, because my personal opinion, they are way better than the Scuff. So if you guys go ahead and try that out, all right? Everything else, man, my left stick and my right stick, guys, I got this both set to this 0. Now you want to set this thing to according to your controller, okay? If you have stick drift in your controller, I highly recommend you guys to keep on moving it up until you guys see that you do not have any stick drift at all whatsoever. But since this is a new controller, I'll always set it down to 0, just because it's no stick drift at all whatsoever. And even on 0, I still have stick drift. So it just makes my controller or my system that I play on, which is 6.6, feels like very good, okay? If you're trying to have better recoil control, you know, have good aim and stuff like that, I highly recommend you guys try to play on 6.6. You really do not need to play on a high sensitivity at all whatsoever. It's really unnecessary. But if you are trying to improve at Warzone, like always, play on 6.6. It's going to help you guys out a lot, okay? Your shot is going to just be very steady, okay? But if you play on high sense, depending on how good of a player you are, it might be a little bit shaky, okay? In response, curve type, dynamic. Do not play on anything else but dynamic. Every competitive player plays on dynamic, and it's for a reason. So make sure you guys play on dynamic, okay? Controller vibration. If you are trying to take your game to the next level, please do not play on this at all whatsoever, okay? Aim assist is standard, skill aim assist with L4V. I got my stuff set to disabled just because I feel like, I don't know what it is. I feel like when I have my stuff set to skill aim assist with L4V disabled, I feel like I have way more aim assist than usual. It's weird. So I set my stuff to disabled. This is what every competitive player uses. So I was like, fuck it, you know? They use, so I might as well do it too, okay? Disable, okay? It is melee, enable, hold. All this stuff is default, but if you are trying to improve your movement speed, I highly recommend you guys go ahead and pretty much mix for the movement right here and have this thing set to automatic tactical sprint. And have this thing set to double tap, and for your slide behavior, have it set to tap just so it's easier to slide cancel, okay? And if you are trying to loot faster, have this thing on contextual tap. If you're trying to play it up while being shot at and stuff like that, have this thing set to apply all, just so you guys do not have to hold that button. Once you press like triangle or press Y, stuff like that, you can just press all. You just pretty much just press the triangle, press Y while running, you'll still be playing up. So that's very, very good. Make sure you guys are using these settings. All right, so that's my in-game settings, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into my out-of-game settings, just because this is crazy. Make sure you guys are watching this video all the way through, just because this is like some crazy stuff, man. This is gonna take your game to the next level. All right, let's get straight into it. All right, boys, man, so we are here, man, the out-of-game settings. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are going to your Nvidia control panel, man. This is for my PC players, of course. So manage 3D settings. You want to make sure that you make sure you guys are copying everything. I'm just gonna go ahead and just go down the list. Hopefully you guys are be able to see that and stuff like that. All right, so image sharpening off, skill disable. Okay, make sure you guys are copying all these settings right here, man. This is gonna pretty much help you get more frames. Along with that, guys, it's gonna help your game feel way more smooth. Okay, so make sure you guys are setting this all the way up. All right, and also, man, I'm going to go into my program setting. This is what I personally use just so my game looks a little bit better and stuff like that. Image sharpening, I got my stuff at to 0.30. Ignore fill grain at 0.00. So make sure you guys go ahead and just copy these settings right here. Hopefully you guys can see it. Make sure you guys are copying everything, man. This is like everything that you guys just really need to see. Make sure you guys go ahead and copy down, pause the video if you really need to, and stuff like that. All right. So that is my Nvidia control panel says. I really do not use anything else at all whatsoever. For my people who are trying to make their game look like very good, I guess you could say, I highly recommend you guys, it's just so you guys, if you do not want to use Nvidia filters, which I do not recommend at all whatsoever, just because you are losing frames. If you're trying to make your game look a little bit better, I highly recommend you guys adjust your brightness and adjust your contrast up to 55 and have your gamma at 1.17, which is the sweet spot. But for your digital vibrance, man, listen, bro, this is the sweet spot. This is gonna make your game look beautiful. Okay, digital vibrance, man, I highly recommend you guys try to move up to 80. 80 is the sweet spot, especially for vibrance in this game. It's gonna make your game look very colorful. It's gonna make visibility just even more better for Warzone. Okay, so it's really up to you. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and press apply. Make sure you guys are using these settings because they are actually worth it. Okay, next up, guys, man, I'm gonna go ahead and show my Ds4 Windows Settings. So shout out to the homie Knight or whatever, just because I actually copied the settings from him and stuff like that. And when I tried it out, crazy, it's crazy good. So I'm gonna go ahead and share out these settings right here, share out these settings with you and stuff like that, man, with y'all, just so you guys can see what every competitive player used to get the advantage over everybody, stuff like that. This is crazy. Okay, so with my settings, man, deadzone 0.05. Make sure you guys are copying all this stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and go down the list and stuff like that. I really don't have to read out the numbers to you, but make sure you guys go ahead and copy it down. This is highly worth it. When I say that I have legit no type of delay at all whatsoever on my controller, I generally do not have any type of I do not have any type of delay at all whatsoever on my controller. It's like zero almost. Okay, make sure you guys are playing on that. And this is also if you want to see if you are having stick, well, not stick drift, but if you want to make sure that if you want to see if your controller has input delay, just make sure you guys go to controller reading. And if you guys see right here on the sticks in the left right, you guys see, you guys should be able to see that I have legit 0. I have legit less than 1 input delay millisecond on my controller. So my stuff is overclock. Okay, make sure you guys got this thing set to overclock. All right, so I'm pretty sure that you guys are going to ask me, Stunted, how do you overclock your controller, stuff like that. I'm going to leave a video down there in the description box or somewhere in the comment section box. Just make sure you just guys try to find it, whatever. Shout out to Name, just because he actually helped people overclock their controller with this video. So pretty much what I did, man, was I set this thing to all and stuff like that. And this is my controller right here. So USB composite device, filter yes, rate is 1000, the interval is at 1, stuff like that. This is how you know when your controller is overclocked. All right, so my stuff is overclocked, and when you overclock your controller, guys, you're pretty much getting even like lower delay on your controller. Like everything that you do almost feels like instant just because it is overclocked. This is what every competitive player uses, and so should you guys. All right, but yeah, man, guys, man, that's my settings right there, man. Hope you guys did today's video, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Hopefully everything was helpful, man. I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow for another banger, man. Follow me on Twitter just because by the time you watch this video, I'm probably live on there. So make sure you guys go ahead and show some love to me, man. Just pretty much interact with me and stuff like that. And hey, I'll catch you guys tomorrow, boys. Peace.